Magandang araw! April Marcas po, ang inyong pretty ate sa EdTech Unit. Alam ba ninyo na may webinar o online training session ng EdTech Unit tuwing Sabado? Ang araw na ito ay nakalaan para sa ating mga mahal na kaguruan upang turuan sila ng mga bagong kaalaman at kakayahan sa paggamit ng makabagong software at applications para sa pinaka-epektibong paraan at lubos mapagpusay ang kanilang paraan ng pagtuturo. This is also a refresher session for our beloved teachers to enhance their skills in technology. Every Saturday, we will conduct webinar sessions for teachers about the use, advantages, and relevance of different blended learning software applications. Ang webinar seryeng ito ay magsisimula ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali para sa morning session. Magsisimula naman ng alauna at magtatapos ng alas 4 ng hapon ang afternoon session. You can watch us in our DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page, Educational Technology Unit YouTube channel, DepEd Tayo, and DepEd Philippines. Kita-kits tayo tuwing Sabado!
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETULay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETULay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETULay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is your tutor for today. This is Tutor Nova, and I know you've missed me, right? You've missed me because during the school year 2020 to 2021, I was your tutor handling the subject, but now it is ETULay Level Up. So we are leveling up the game and giving you lessons in oral communication in context. So that's why I have a partner today. My partner is none other than Mr. Alvin R. Lim. Sir Alvin, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon,
go.
Tutor Nova. Good afternoon to all our ETULay viewers, to all our students and parents all over the Philippines. Actually, we're being watched all over the Philippines from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
It's right, Sir Alvin. And I guess we need to welcome the school year 2021 to 2022 with a positive mind and a positive heart, right? So that is
Right.
why today we also wanted to step up the game. So that's why we are teaming up. I'm all the way from Bugao City, while Sir Alvin is all the way from...
From the schools division of Pampanga. Hello to our to my colleagues in the division of Pampanga. Good afternoon.
All right, so right now, Sir Alvin will begin the class. So he will be the one to handle the oral communication in context. But of course, you can try to leave a comment on the comment section for us to know that you are here with us on the class. And of course, interact with us as much as possible. So, Sir Alvin, and to our beloved director today, you can remove me from the live today and let's focus on Sir Alvin today. Sir Alvin, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Tutor Nova, and to our technical director. Good afternoon. All right, so hello, senior high school learners. It's Tuesday, a new day and an amazing day. So time check, it's 1 minute past 4. So welcome to another fun-filled and exciting learning journey in oral communication. Together, you will learn and win with Tutor Alvin. So before we begin, I would like to greet, all right, and say good afternoon to all our live viewers in our ETULay online tutorial session, to our active and participative learners. Okay, hello, shout out to our senior high school learners. Okay, and of course to our supportive parents and guardians, and of course to our unstoppable colleagues educators, and administrators from the Department of Education. Hello, I hope you're doing great. So, as what Tutor Nova says, it's the opening week of the school year 2021-2022. For today, we'll be having the first lesson for quarter 1, week 1, the functions, nature, and process of communication. So, for this episode, all you need to do is be comfortable, no? In your home or where you are right now. So as I gradually unfold all the activities, which you will surely enjoy while at the same time learning. So yeah, and good afternoon to all our viewers from different schools in the Philippines. Okay, so hello Chantal, good afternoon to Elaine J. Di Macali, good afternoon, and to Yan. So okay, so from Giselle Kiamco, good afternoon. So please enjoy. You may comment, use our comment section to interact for us to have an active interaction in this online tutorial session. So let's begin. For this episode or for this session, we'll be targeting the following. First, you should be able to define communication and explain its elements. Second one, enumerate and expound the nature of communication. The third, identify the function or purpose of communication. And lastly, explain the process of communication. So, are you ready to learn? Please give me thumbs up and heart reaction in our comment section for me to know that you're ready for this afternoon. All right, thank you for actively participating. So good afternoon again, everyone. So, as you perform each learning activity, so please get hold of your module, your paper, and pen. So, are you now ready to accomplish our first learning task? If so, listen well as I flash on the screen the activity you need to answer. So on the comment section, identify the mystery word using the pictures that I'm going to flash later as the key or clue. So you just need to identify the activity being showed or performed by each person. Okay, I think everyone's ready. I see a lot of heart reactions and thumbs up. So let's begin with the first picture. All right. So what is he doing? Okay, the word starts with letter L. Okay, so I want to see your responses in the comment section. Okay, so the word starts with letter, yeah, Jenny Yabut says, listening. That is correct. Okay, how about the second one? The teacher is telling something to her audience. It begins with letter S. Ayan, I love the active participation of our viewers. Okay. That's right. So she is speaking. That's right. How about this one? Here's the third picture. What is he doing? That's right. He is reading. Here comes the last picture. It is usually the partner of the previous photo which is reading. The woman is busy in... Yeah, thank you for answering, Razel and the others. Tristan, yeah. How about our last picture? The woman is busy in... Okay, Amja answered, writing. Perfect. She is writing. You did a great job. So I hope you enjoyed our first activity. So again, what are our mystery words? We have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Okay, my next question is, where do we usually use these activities? Okay, when do we usually use these activities? When should we listen? When should we speak? When should we read? When should we write? Okay, on what particular activity we commonly use these skills? In letter C. All right. Okay, Tristan, got it. In communicating or in communication. So we commonly use these skills in communication, and we call them the macro skills in learning a language, knowing that language is the primary tool to communication. So, but the question is, what is communication? How does the communication process happen? And why do people communicate? And these questions will be answered in this session, in our first session, quarter one, week one, the functions, nature, and process of communication. As a starter, let us first define what communication is. So according to McCornack, communication is what? It is basically a process of sending, sharing, giving, conveying, transmitting. Okay? Of what? Of message. And it involves what? Sharing and conveying messages from one person, okay, to another, within and across channels, context, media, and culture. So that is basically the meaning of communication. Yeah, I see here exchanging, right? Sharing. Okay, those words are correct. Okay, transmitting, sending of what again? Message from one person to the other, within and across different channels, media, context, and cultures. So Giancarlo mentioned that it's sharing of ideas. That's correct. Now, of course, there is a wide variety of contexts and situations in which communication can be manifested. Okay? Can be manifested. It can be what? A face-to-face interaction. This is a form of communication. It can also be a phone conversation. Okay? How about you? Will you please give me other activity which shows communication? Okay, while I'm giving the others. So we have also group discussion or meeting. It can also be a letter correspondence. Okay, even in written form, that's considered still communication. And we have also the class recitation. Okay, so how about you guys? I want to read your other examples. Okay, other examples of or means of communicating. So chatting, yeah, according to Christian, that's right. This Lizelle commented sending letters. Yeah, by brainstorming, honey. That's correct. Exchanging letter, online chatting, and many more. Doing debate, according to Jesse, and many more. There are a lot of things or activities which manifest a communicative activity. All right. So I think communication is clear to you. Now, to better understand what communication is, we have to be very particular of its nature, And in answering or in identifying the nature of communication, we have to answer our next activity. It's a simple yes or no activity. So just comment yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, comment no. Okay? Comment yes if the statement is true. But if it's not, comment no. All right. So, okay. Let's have number one. I think the instruction is clear. Number one, okay? Communication is a process. Is it a yes or no? Okay, I want to read your responses now. Communication is a process. It's a yes, okay? It's a yes. Definitely, it's a yes. Okay, so just to give you a little perspective of the communication process, just a little, because we'll be um, having it more specific later on. So communication process, what kind of process? It's an active, okay? It's a two-way process. So how it will become, or how it can be a two-way process? So we have the sender who sends the message to the receiver. Do you think it's already a two-way process? Not yet. What makes communication a two-way process? What should be here? Okay, because in our sample, it's just one way. Sending the message, only one way. And how can we make it a two-way process? Yeah, that's right. By, okay, giving feedback. Okay, when we say feedback, basically it's the reply, the response of the receiver to the speaker, Okay, so aside from that, communication is also a systematic process. Systematic, just like science, it follows certain steps. Okay, so it's legit. Communication is a process. Okay, let's proceed to the second statement. Identify if it is a yes or no, or if it is true or false. Okay, so yeah, James Masuwangat, that's correct. It's feedback. Next, communication can only occur between and among two or more people. Yeah, I'm excited to read your comment for this statement. Communication can only occur between and among two or more people. Yes, according to Jella, it's a no. For Julia, no. For Francis, John Lord says yes, it's a no. All right, let's reveal the correct answer. It is a no. What, sir? So communication can not only occur between and among two or more people? Okay, yes. So let's have the second nature. Listen and pay attention. The second nature says that communication occurs between the sender and the receiver. Okay, so basically here it is a communication. It shows communication because we have the sender sending the message to the receiver. Okay, that's what we usually know. But then go back to the second nature. Communication occurs between the sender and the receiver. It doesn't mention a number of people to be involved in a communication, to be declared, or to be considered it as a way of communicating. Also, within a single person, communication may also occur. Don't you think it's possible that you alone is the sender, at the same time you are the receiver of your own message? It's possible, right? Okay, and I have a little suspense for you because we'll be having that on our session 5. How come that communication can also occur within a single person? Always remember, in a communication activity, what important is there is a sender and a receiver, regardless of the number of people involved in the process. Okay, so I hope you're enlightened. Next is the third one. Using words in spoken and written forms is our only way of communicating with someone. Yeah, I love the answer of Catherine. Keep it up. Okay, but I'll not be mentioning it in our live session. for them to think about what do we call that kind of communication where there is only one participant in that particular context. Okay, going back to number 3. Using words in spoken and written forms is our only way of communicating with someone. Mhm. Can we only communicate by just using words? No other means, no other way, just by only using words? Okay, I love the answer. It's a no. It's a no, my dear students. Why? Okay. Because aside from words, we can also communicate using actions, all right? Actions, or what do we call, because when you say words, we call it the verbal, okay? The verbal communication using by simply speaking and writing. We use words, that's verbal communication. But then through actions, through behaviors, or using symbols, we call this collectively as nonverbal communication. Okay? Because example, this one, okay, meaning stop. Without saying the word stop, but just doing this one, okay, it makes sense. There's already a meaning in that gesture. Okay. Another one is when you say like this one, we portray this gesture. Okay, we presented this gesture. How about this one? And even our facial expression communicates something or communicate already something to our audience. So we call that the nonverbal. So when we combine, and it would be very effective, our way of communicating would be more effective when we combine words and actions, when we combine verbal and non-verbal cues, and we call it, that's right, the oral communication, our subject. Okay, that's why for this subject, expect not just only using words, but to master, okay, your movements while speaking. So that is our third nature. Yeah, and sign language, that's correct. That's example of a nonverbal cue. Now, we're done with the nature of communication. Those are the basic about communication, and you should not forget those. Now, can you still remember the first nature of communication? Communication is a process, right? Communication is a process, an active, a two-way, and systematic process. And now I'll be showing you the communication process. Okay, so hello, are you still there? Please mention your school, all right, your province, where you're from, so that everyone, okay, will be having inter-school, okay, academic unity in this online session. Okay, that's right, Maribel. It's a process. Now let me show you how communication works. So, of course, in the process of communication, just like in cooking, all right, in cooking, we cannot yet proceed to the cooking process without but before we work on a specific chore, what do we need first? Example, you want to cook. Can you already cook? Of course, you need first to prepare your recipe, yeah? Or what do we know? The what? Yeah, the ingredients. That's correct. The ingredients. Now, just like in communication, to complete or to better understand how communication works, we have to be familiar with the elements of communication. That's why as the moment I discuss each step in the process, I'll be also presenting you the element involved in each step. So are you ready? So let us begin. So the process of communication is basically consists of 6 steps. The first one is the speaker generates an idea. Okay, let's focus on this step 1. All right. So we have here the word speaker. The speaker simply means the source of information or message. Okay? The source, the origin. okay, of the message. We call him or her the speaker, or in general, the sender. Because in written communication, the sender, we call him or her the writer. In oral communication, since it's our subject, we'll be calling him or her as the speaker, as the speaker. That's right. So the speaker generates again what? An idea. So in communication, idea is the message. It's the information, ideas, or thoughts conveyed by the speaker, either in words or in action. Now, let's have this one. The first step is the speaker generates an idea. So this is the first step wherein the speaker, the sender, will be thinking of the message. Okay? So that is, or this is our first step in the process of communication. Let's move on to the second one. The speaker encodes an idea. Okay, a new term, encodes. So let's have this one. What is encoding? Encoding is the process of converting the message into words, actions, or other forms that the speaker understands. Going back to the step one, the speaker generates an idea. When we say generates the message is still in abstract form. Within the mind, within the heart, the feelings, emotion of the speaker. And how would it be possible for the sender to sense the message? He or she needs first to encode the idea. Tutor Alvin, how does the encoding process happen? It's just simply using words or actions to say what you feel, to say what you think. Okay, of course, it's in our mind. You cannot just have your head together, put them together, and your receiver will get you. No. So as the sender, you have to encode the idea. The idea. Okay, maybe I'll be using words. I'll just be using actions. And that's already the process of encoding. Okay, so the third step. Okay, after encoding, so I think we're ready now to transmit. Okay, to transmit or send out a message through a channel, of course. So after encoding, we're now ready to send it, to transmit it. But what is a channel? A channel is the medium or the means in which the encoded message is conveyed. Of course, example, after encoding, I'll be using words. I'll be using words to express my idea. Now the question is, are you now ready to send it? Not yet. You have to choose first a channel. So, Tutor Alvin, what's channel? Is it the TV, same as a TV network? Not really. When we say channel, it's just the way. How are you going to send it? Maybe, I want to send my message through face-to-face. I want to meet him or her personally. But I think following the safety protocol, it's not yet allowed. Maybe I'll just be using messenger application. I'll just be we'll just be having Google Meet. I'll just be calling via phone or send it via SMS or text message. That way, you are already choosing a medium, or what do we call the channel. So that is the third step. You will now be sending the message, but then using your chosen channel. Okay? So the fourth is the receiver gets the message. After sending it, all right, after sending it, now we expect that the receiver gets the message, right? So we have here another element, which is, or who is the receiver? The receiver is simply the recipient of the message. If we have the sender as the source, we have the receiver, the recipient. Okay? The recipient of the message. That is the receiver. Number 5. All right, the fifth one. The receiver decodes the message. All right. So let's focus in the word let's focus to the word decodes or the process of decoding. When we say decoding, we are referring to the process of interpreting the encoded message of the speaker by the receiver. Okay, who does the encoding? Who does the encoding? Is it the sender or the receiver? The speaker or the receiver? Who does or who performs, okay, the encoding process? Okay, watching from Beckron High School. Hello, Flory. Going back. Okay, it is being performed, the encoding process is being performed by the sender, right? On the other hand, okay, decoding is being performed by the receiver. Let's just put it in this way. Decoding is understanding the message. We need to interpret. Of course, the message was sent. Now the listener listened or have heard the message. Now it will pass. Okay, the sound waves will pass in his or her brain, and it will be analyzed, interpreted for what? To better understand, right? To better understand, to better comprehend the message of the sender, and that's the decoding process. It's the way of interpreting, analyzing to better understand the message sent by the sender. So that is the decoding. And that leads, okay, and that leads us to the next step, which is the sixth one, and that is the receiver sends or provides feedback. So in giving feedback, we've already mentioned what feedback is, right? It is the reply, the response, okay, the reaction after receiving the message. That's why it's very important to decode first, to understand fully the message you receive so that you can give the perfect and the best feedback. So, and here is the sixth one. So the receiver sends or provides feedback. So it is the reaction, or these are the reactions, responses, or informations provided by the receiver. So hello to all the students from Camba High School, Arayat, Pampanga. Good afternoon. Okay, going back. So feedback, again, the reply. It's basically the reply. Okay, said, uttered, or being performed by the receiver after receiving or listening to the message. So this is the communication process. Actually, number 6. In number 6, the process doesn't stop there. Why? Because after giving feedback, of course, when you give a feedback, you're not anymore the receiver, right? You're already the what? Of course, you're now the sender. Okay? So there is a role shift. At first, you receive the message. But then, the moment you give your feedback, okay, the table turns. You're now the sender, and the cycle goes on. And this is the process of communication. Okay? But along this process, okay, it is being performed in a certain environment. And in communication, we call that element, or we call this element the context. Okay, the context. When you say context, it's the environment where communication takes place. The context is the occasion, okay, the situation, the weather condition, okay, where and when communication is happening. Okay, so it is the context, another element of communication. Okay, please take note of the elements. Now, but then we should also be aware that communication, the process can be interrupted. It can be interrupted because of the presence of a certain element. And we call this the barriers. Okay, what are the barriers? So These are the factors that affect the flow of communication. So be aware, because there are some factors that can hinder, that can stop the flow of the communication. It can be coming from the speaker, the barrier, maybe you're not feeling well, okay? You're having a speech difficulty. Maybe the problem is your environment. The environment is too noisy, and we call those barriers. Okay, and even to your receiver, on the part of the receiver, when of course he or she is not in mood to listen. Of course, even though you are a good speaker, when the receiver experiencing um, we call this anxiety or stress, it can also be a barrier leading to miscommunication. That's why you have to be aware of the barriers to communication. Yeah, Dexter, that's correct. You mentioned it. These are the barriers. So now I want you to have now the functions of communication, because we're not just communicating without sense. Of course, why do we communicate? For a certain purpose. Why did you say that? For a certain purpose, for a certain function. We have reasons. There are certain reasons why do we communicate. So at this point, or at this juncture, let us discuss the functions of communication. Okay. So look at this one. Okay, a mother is scolding her child about the table. Can you see in the picture? Table manner or etiquette. Look at the feet, okay, or the legs of the child. And how about seeing this one? Okay, seeing this traffic sign. Okay, seeing this traffic light, rather. All right. So, what do you think is the function of communication in the following pictures? For us to learn, yeah, to comprehend. Okay, focusing on the traffic light. What will you do once you have seen it? Okay, what will you do? Right? So you'll continue walking. Okay. So how about when I say, please stand? Okay. Okay. So please react heart now. Please do react using heart emoji right now. Okay, you'll be walking. Ayan. So I can see your responses. And we call it function as control. Communication functions to control behavior. Okay? When I say, please answer your module. Okay, of course you'll be answering your module. Okay? Please read this. Okay. Turn off your cameras. Turn on your microphone. So there is a certain action after hearing these expressions, and we call it control. We call this function control. Now, will you please give me another example of control? Control expressions. Okay, so I'll rate them in the comment section. Now, let's have another function. Okay, we have this one. Okay, it shows what? They are happy, chit-chatting, playing games, having a bonding, right? It is. We can also use communication for social interaction. So it allows us to interact with others. So will you please share in the comment section, how do you have a social interaction with your peers, with your friends? Share it in the comment section. All right. Next one. The next function is, okay, communication motivates or encourages people to live better. Okay. Example, a church leader, right? Because of his words of encouragement, we are becoming positive on our philosophy in life, and even receiving advice, and even inspirational words, just like saying to someone, "You can do it." Okay, I believe on your ability. those sounds motivating, right? So we can also use communication to motivate other people. Okay? And the fourth one is emotional expression. Very obvious. We can use communication to let go or to bring out our feelings, emotion. Okay, what do we feel right now? Are we happy, sad, lonely, excited? Through communication, we can express our emotion. And the last function is okay. Yeah, what the thing or the activity I'm doing right now, I'm having an online tutorial session with you guys, and even okay, teaching using TV. So I'm using it, okay, for what? To give you information, and we call this function information dissemination, because communication also functions to convey information, and those are the those are the functions of communication. All right, yes, so we're done with the discussion part. So give yourself a great job clap and a thumbs up, and I love to see your heart reactions, okay, in the comment section. Yan, informative, giving information. So as a review, don't forget, and let's remember that communication has nature. It's a process. It occurs between the sender and receiver, and it can be expressed through words, action, or both actions and words. Also, we talked about the elements of communication. So I'm excited for this part, the elements. So is it not? While we are studying the process, we're also already injecting the elements. So what are the elements you remembered? Okay, what are the elements of communication you remembered in understanding the process? Of course, we began with the sender. Next is the message, encoding, channel, decoding by the receiver, and after that, giving feedback, the context, the environment, and lastly, be aware of the barrier. And always remember the communication process will begin with the generating of the idea. After generating, there will be an encoding. Next, transmitting or sending out the message. After that, the receiver will get or receive the message. He or she will then decode it, and a feedback will be provided or given. And lastly, we have communication functions. Again, what are the 5 functions of communication? So control, social interaction, motivation, emotional expression, and information dissemination. Actually, I prepared an assessment or a test to test your learning, but I guess through your responses, no, your active participation in our comment section in this online tutorial session, I think, and I expect that you learned a lot in our session. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so congratulations everyone. So you deserve a great job clap. Give yourselves an astounding virtual clap, guys. So you may share your ETULay or welcome experience in your social media account using the following hashtags. Hashtag learn with tutor Alvin, hashtag ETULay or welcome 2021, and hashtag ETULay level up. Now, so we're done with our first week. So please tune in again next week, same day and same time, for another learning journey in oral communication. Again, this is Tutor Alvin saying, be the best in oral communication in context. Till then, happy learning. See you next week.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETULay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETULay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETULay!